something that constantly comes up is we have students, we have doctors all come into the office and they come shadow, and then they have these questions about like, what is it that makes you successful? Like they're asking me this question, like, what is it that's making us grow at such a fast rate that has the office full of patients, and how did we start collecting $100,000 within 10 months of being open? Like these are the questions that they're asking, but the thing is that it's not really what you expect. Like for most people, they come in and they're looking at the adjustment. They're like, oh man, he has to do this crazy adjustment that gets all these people to come back. And then they go and they want to take pictures of all the brochures and take pictures of our care plans and take pictures of everything, because it has to be the care plan. It has to be all this other stuff outside of you. And they don't realize like the biggest component to why people sign up on a daily basis and why people are attracted to this office is mindset. It's like your own internal mindset, your belief system within yourself, that concept that sits within your subconscious mind that drives your action, that attracts people into the office. Like for me, this all started back when I was a student. I was blessed to have a lot of great mentors and people that poured into me. So my original mindset was created by Dr. Tim Young, who was the first person I ever heard speak as a chiropractor. And he was able to plant an idea into my mind stating that it is possible to serve 250 patients a day. Like that was the first thing I heard. So I thought this was normal. I didn't know that the average chiropractor doesn't even see that in a week. And I took that and became obsessed with growing a big ass practice. You know, that's what I wanted. And then in school, I was blessed to be mentored by Dr. Brett Jones. And Dr. Brett Jones had an obsession over the adjustment and the skill set needed to deliver the perfect adjustment. Like we would train the adjustment. We would wake up at 5:30 in the morning. And I lived an hour away, so I had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive an hour to be there at 5:30 to train other students. And this was as a student. So I was completely obsessed with this thing called chiropractic. And then I had a doctor, I don't know if he did it as a joke, but his name was Dr. Meisel. He was a Gonstead doctor. And he saw how obsessed I was over the adjustment and being able to deliver an amazing adjustment. And he told me that I needed to adjust into a tennis ball over and over until that tennis ball broke. And then I would become an amazing adjuster. And that's what the secret was. And I bruised the shit out of my finger. And I just kept adjusting into that tennis ball. Like the visualization, like I would close my eyes because Dr. Brett Jones said that before you connect with anybody, you have to visualize the person you love most in this world. So I would close my eyes, visualize that patient in front of me, connect with that tennis ball and drive. And I would walk down the halls thrusting into this tennis ball and people thought I was nuts. But I was obsessed. Because I knew what the vision was, I knew what the goal was, and I wasn't gonna let anything distract me from it. Then, when I graduated, I didn't have that support system. Like, I didn't have anything to keep me on track. And my mindset started to drift. And that's like when you become lonely, you realize like, we have all these clubs in school. You know, we have all these mentors in school. And I didn't have that mentor. So I immediately hired Dr. Tori Robeson. So Dr. Tori Robeson is like the most militant chiropractor I've ever met. Like that guy is on it. And he helped me create this office. Like helped me with the concept of decompression, those intersegmental traction tables, how to have the adjustment rooms, how to have a corridor between the adjustment rooms, how to calculate the steps that you don't want to take any extra steps to go to the trash can, all this stuff. And then I became obsessed with developing this office and creating this office. Like that obsession translated into me going out into the streets and adjusting people. Like who does this? I look at so many chiropractors that are opening their office and they're sitting in Starbucks waiting for the office to open. Like, how does that make sense? I went into the streets with a portable table and a sidewalk sign that said $20 adjustments. and I adjusted 30 people every day. That's all I focused on, was being able to impact 30 lives every single day on an adjustment table. Like, that was my main focus. Because if you think about it, as a student, I trained the adjustment. But once I became a doctor, that mindset and that training needed to evolve. So I started to train communication, because how do you communicate with somebody in the middle of the street and get them to trust you enough to lay down on a table for you to deliver an adjustment? And that's how we were able to get 500 active patient files before we even opened our doors. I had over 150 reviews before we even opened our doors. Then the evolution continued. And I had another mentor step into my life, Andy Elliott, who I'm still coached to by this exact moment in time. Like, I was just at our couples mastermind retreat in Mexico with him and his wife. Like, because I started realizing that Dr. Tori Robeson had the financial success, had the business success, but he wasn't married. He didn't have any kids. He didn't have the life that I wanted. And I realized that I was so obsessed with this practice that I started to drift away from my wife. I started to drift away from my kids. So I became obsessed with becoming the best father I could be, becoming the best husband I could be. Like, he was the first person that I ever heard say, you can have it all. You can have it all. You can have business success. You can have financial success. You can be a successful father. You can be a successful husband. And for me, that evolution and that practice of just constantly bringing yourself up to develop your mindset, to be able to pour into yourself constantly, is what's gotten this practice to grow at such a fast rate.